Still opting for that Matilda, even with no Thomas here in the stage. Keyboy going to add a little bit more disengage. So no Valor, but I agree. Matilda is what works best here, right? If they go for a dive hero as well, like something like a Kufra, it doesn't really work well because they need to protect their back line.
The thing is, the Matilda can also be detrimental towards Farsa, honestly. You can actually just go dive, just cancel that Feather Airstrike that can possibly and potentially come from her when it comes down to a team fight. So it does make sense, the Matilda pick. But interesting that it's going to be used by... Oh, it's not going to be used by Drian, though, this time around. It actually is going to be Keyboy on that Matilda.
Ooh, aggressive plays from Keyboy on the Matilda. We have to see how aggressive he can be, right? Without any kind of reliable crowd control. For the side of Aura, though, the Farsa pick will augment their pick-off potential as well. So I think it's really good.
Absolutely, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive in for game number 3. Who will secure match point first? Is it going to be ONIC or Aura Fire? Based on the drafts, though, I need to get your opinions on this. Eterna, what do you think? Who do you think takes it here?
It's
This
Jungle Hylos,
time around,
It's Jungle
it's
Hylos.
Jungle Hylos? Wait a minute. So I want to see the full lineup here from the side of ONIC Esports, but face value, I'm still going with Aura Fire on this one.
I would go for ONIC actually, because I feel like later on, like they'll be tanky enough. So in the early game, if they can sustain a bit more and not get picked off, which they have the tools to try and help with, right? They have Drian with the wave clear, and they have CW on a more secure marksman. I think they can actually withstand the early game pressure and scale to that late game where Sans as well as Keyboy can actually open up the map.
Oh, Godiva caught. He's going to get taken down for sure. First blood by CW. This is why the Popol is just so detrimental to ONIC's draft. CW, when it comes to the Popol, I think most of their victories has been him on the Popol, right? The game-winning, literally MPL winning game back in Season 8 was with CW on the Popol.
Right. Absolutely. So it is a very strong hero, as we mentioned, and it's a lot more secure with those traps. So if Aura Fire wants to try and shut him down, it won't be as simple.
It's going to be really tough, especially with High now that is caught in a level disadvantage against Sans. It's going to be the trap perfectly placed from CW to immobilize High. He's going to get taken down. Godiva goes over to Petrify, but he might be taken down as well. Sans is looking for something. Oddity is there, but it does not help him. Sans just dives in, and the damage is just insane. Godiva still getting out with the Oddity once again, but man, CW, Popol, and Koopa. Kabuki steals the gold though with the Renner, so all right, but 1,000 gold still in the hands of ONIC.
I love that Oddity out of the map just to get out. I think that was quite funny. But yeah, ONIC Esports now with a 1,000 gold lead, but Aura is the ones on the first turtle here, so they do have the upper incentive in a way, and it is going to be them picking up the first objective on the board, but ONIC Esports still leading with 800.
Well, with that play, right, shutting Godiva down, essentially killing him once in the early game, they can start curbing his presence because, as we mentioned, if Godiva doesn't get rolling, he finds it quite difficult as Keyboy goes with the aggression to try and pressure Facehugger and looking for info towards High as well.
Well, oh my god, Keyboy with a very aggressive play, he gets it and he flickers out the hit and run from Keyboy. My goodness, he grabbed that kill just like you guys can grab food with 50% off of your order. MPL ID X grab.
MPL ID X grab. Keyboy, man. We talked about him being on an aggressive hero. I thought he would want to go for more utility, more pickoff, but if you have damage in the early game, right, level 4 Matilda, go ahead. He just one-shots essentially Facehugger again and again. And now he's all over the map trying to make plays and trying to make sure that CW has a great laning phase as well.
Yeah, the problem is Kabuki is going to be quite weak to CW as, oh my god.
There is the kill pressure from Farsa in lane. High with the help of Facehugger will be able to pick up that kill. Godiva tries to go for a cheeky play, but the Petrify was instantly taken away, I guess, by the guiding wind. Both roamers just having a blast, recalling against one another. But Godiva will lose out in the trade here as CW, Sans, and Keyboy. They're looking for the dive. Godiva jumps in, will be able to knock up CW, but the damage will not be enough to take him down. They will be able, however, to defend this topside turret.
There definitely is potential from Godiva, as you can see. Unfortunately, the items just aren't there to be able to aid him in that venture. But we can see that happening later on after the items are locked in. As we're going to take a look here, what does Arashi have to say?
Well, Godiva is probably itemizing for a Clock of Destiny, and Facehugger is already ahead of him in that, in that endeavor. So for CW though, despite the good early game, he's still not at his first item power spike yet. Once he is, though, that is a lot more kill pressure. But Godiva now tries to make a play happen.
Uh-oh, CW, he's going to be caught, but that's going to be for the airstrike canceled away by Facehugger, and that's the Dawning Light to seal his fate. Godiva and Facehugger gets taken out. ONIC, again with a better trade here, off of Aura Fire's proactiveness on the map.
Man, 5-1 in the 4th minute. That's not a good look for the side of Aura Fire at all. As ONIC Esports have been able to as well chunk that gold from that turret. So expect CW to be ahead in terms of gold and Kabuki a bit far behind. But it seems like in terms of levels, Kabuki is actually 1 level ahead. As we can see here, Sans as well as Fluffy going at it there in that mid lane. For the most part, I haven't seen Fluffy really have an impact just yet.
Right. Honestly, I think it's just the same story, right? Aura tries to make a proactive play, it gets denied, and ONIC Esports just goes for the punish. Now Godiva goes on Sans, but as a Hylos, he's just way too tanky. And what's important in that previous fight, though, is that Drian was able to hit multiple people just lining up that Dawning Light. If he's able to do that more often, that is something a bit special, right? Something that we don't see being put to use as much as Keyboy is jump up.
Whoa, Keyboy way too aggressive. He dives onto 4 members. I understand that he was looking for a dive, but that is a huge blunder. And because of that, they won't be able to open up the map here. Aura Fire might just use this little window to create more space on the map and get more picks. Look at this. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they do. High to the backside. Now it's going to be Godiva jumping in. CW gets deleted off the map. Kabuki with the snipes. And a double kill will be picked up. 1 blunder from Keyboy. That's what set it up for Aura.
That gold lead from the side of ONIC Esports just instantly equalized by Aura Fire because of just 1 death that eventually led to a domino effect. Keyboy is still up and running, but unfortunately Aura Fire have the take and dub as well on this turret in that top side.
Well, for the most part, CW has the Blade of Despair, so a lot more damage, but his tower is already gone. Sans has the Athena rush, knowing that there's a lot of burst, but that also makes him susceptible to the damage coming in from Kabuki. Brian already itemizing for the Enchanted Talisman, so once that is completed, expect a lot more Dawning Lights. And so far, I think if the fight just goes in for a long duration, ONIC Esports still will come out on top.
And you got to remember, oh my god, Keyboy, oh my goodness, that was a basic attack. The one that actually hit him, that took him to a quarter HP. Wait, oh, okay. Now I understand. He built the Athenas and the magic defense shoes, so that's why he's taking so much physical damage, and that might just be the mistake here, because Boots is going to be able to dive into the backside. Facer caught in the bad situation, will be taken down, but the viewer's passion will just shred through everyone. Doesn't get anyone taken low, though. High now will be able to get out, but man, another pick off. Facehugger needs to position better, because ONIC, they can just look for these crazy engages from everywhere, every side.
Yeah, that's not good. Now that ONIC Esports, they have him at advantage towards taking this objective on the board, but Aura Fire.
Ooh, very risky play from the side of Godiva. They're trying to buy a little bit more time, maybe some space for High to look for the steal, but it will not be there. Oh! Kabuki saves the day! Godiva dies, but it's all right. That's what it was for. He's going to be able to burst CW down as well. Kabuki!
Oh my god!
He flickers forward and he gets it! What's in the world? My boy, you can't be doing this. This is insane. But it is going to be the mid lane. Facehugger once again caught out. ONIC will be able to get the compensation off of that Lord. Aura Fire way too aggressive.
Aura Fire way too aggressive. It was a 1-for-1 trade for both gold laners, but CW was the one to take down Kabuki down and therefore get a lot of shutdown gold. So that's not something that we want to see as well. Aura Fire, though, they are still leading with a 600 gold lead. That was potentially more, especially being able to take that turret in that bottom side from the side of ONIC Esports.
Keep in mind, ONIC Esports does not have a flanking hero. It could be Boots, but for the most part, the man responsible to try and pressure Kabuki away will be Drian with those Dawning Lights. So later on, that'll be quite difficult for ONIC Esports to deal with. Right now, though, for Aura Fire, they're just playing it really proactive, but sometimes it's just a bit too much. As we take a look at the items right now, ooh, the damage from CW.
Oh my god, he's going to get taken down.
Wow, just like that. That is the damage that CW has. Only a bit of despair, but Popo and Koopa, that is why the hero is just so strong. We saw earlier though, Kabuki, despite having his items right now, the Nibiru Passion doesn't really melt through Boots and Sans. So he will need a bit more damage, a bit more items, before he can actually be a real threat to the front line of ONIC Esports.
I mean, at this stage, Kadita is basically an all-in hero. You saw him miss his skills onto CW, and the repercussions was he'd get taken down and further feeding CW here, and that's not one of the players that you'd want to feed at this point, but Hai is caught in a situation.
Okay, Kabuki is just so lethal on that Renner. He gets 2 shots off of Keyboy. It takes half of his HP away. But Keyboy is the, I guess, the savior of savior, literally, right? That mobility is going to help him a lot with that guiding wind. So ONIC, they need to play with Keyboy. Drian, as long as he keeps his position, he is going to actually be able to outdamage and outrange Facehugger. So that's the name of the game. That's the play that they should be going for right now. They can't look for a dive. Drian needs to be very careful on these little strolls that he's taking because Fluffy is now here as well. He's trying to open up the map. Drian instantly forced to back up, and Fluffy, he does not care. He's going in once again onto CW. Fluffy's taken very low, but it is going to be a 2v1 on the backside and the front side as well. Boots is going on to Kabuki. Both of the XP laners almost taking a gold laner down, but it's going to be Godiva and Kabuki surviving. Meanwhile, in that bottom side, it's CW outplaying Fluffy and getting the kill. Solo Bolo.
Solo kill for CW. That was intense. I thought for sure Fluffy would have taken it, but unfortunately he was a little too aggressive, taking a lot of damage under the turret as well. And so the trade is going to be once again in favor for ONIC Esports at this stage. They are currently leading with a slight gold lead. It can be taken back with just one moment, and that is exactly what Aura Fire is looking for right now.
I thought CW was definitely going down because like he was very low, and Fluffy still looks like he had several HP bars to work with, but with the flicker, he's just able to kite around, and the tower damage was able to actually help him out enough to get that solo kill. So I was about to say, in that late game, there will be a bit of a competition between Boots and Fluffy to see who can actually make the more proactive, the more impactful flank maneuver. Because Masha can most definitely one-shot the core members on ONIC Esports.
They need to be very, very careful here because at this point, ONIC, I feel like they have more of a lead to actually be the ones who are proactive, but it's still Aura who are trying to look for the Lord. At this point, I think Aura should just play with the waves, use it to create more space on the map. I think they're tunnel visioning on just this Lord, and because of that, it's actually ONIC who are able to pick up the turrets in the side lanes.
Yeah, unfortunately, a turret does go down there in that top side. I guess Masha is trying to replicate the movements coming in from Esmeralda and try and take away that side lane pressure that Boots is currently trying to do. But look at that mid side from ONIC Esports.
Oh, let's see. Hai's going to go for the Retribution battle. 50-50, and Hai will take it away. The Rough Waves is there as well. Sans gets taken down. Fluffy in the backside. Zoning CW and Drian. Aura with a perfect execution as Kabuki was free hitting the entire time. The Feather Airstrike was also very, very well timed. Facehugger, he used the Wings by Wings to get out.
1,600 gold lead for the side of Aura Fire. They managed to get a turret in that mid side as well, along with 2 members from the side of ONIC Esports. And if we take a look at the players' gold here, by Livin, by Mandiri, it is 2 members from the side of Aura Fire there in that top side. But where is CW on the board? It actually is Boots with the higher gold.
He's below Fluffy even, so Boots is the main guy with the most gold on ONIC Esports. He has not been able to make a big play just because the split push and the speed coming in from Fluffy on the Masha. This is what we're talking about. He just is a lot more proactive and he has a lot more options to play around with. But look at that Dawning Light with the lagging truncheon. That is a lot of damage towards the squishy targets on the side of Aura Fire.
Yeah, the main carry of this game has got to be Kabuki and Facehugger. Honestly, Hai, he is just the utility jungler at this point. He's even giving out the orange buffs to Kabuki.
Oof. But before the fight even begins, Facehugger already too low to participate. The cooldown coming in from Drian on the Savior is just way too good.
Just keep your eyes on Kabuki. Look at the positioning right now. He's able to actually dodge from everything, and he's dealing so much damage. The Dawning Light by Drian. Oh my god, he finds Facehugger out of nowhere here. Hai will be forced to back away, but Turtles' point stance. Kabuki kiting back really well, but ONIC, they found a trade, threading the needle once again. Let's take a look at the items. How was Drian able to burst Facehugger?
It's just a Clock of Destiny Lightning Truncheon combo with so much cooldown reduction, man. Again, the fight hasn't even begun and Facehugger is taken out. Aura Fire is forced to back away. The later the game goes, the more this can still happen. So unless Aura Fire can get a decisive engage, ONIC Esports is content just waiting and actually picking them off slowly but surely with the Dawning Light. The cooldown is just way too short. For Aura Fire though, if they want to go for that engage, they have the tools to do so, right? They have Hai on the Baxia, and they do have Godiva on his signature pick. So we'll just have to see the execution in the late game.
Smart emblem usage by Drian as well. He is focused more on that magic shop instead of anything else. So less damage, less penetration, no dot, but he's able to get these items real quick and therefore have so much of an impact here already in minute number 14 as Aura Fire is still leading with a 3,000 gold lead. Another moment has to be created for the side of Aura Fire to be able to replicate the success that they did, understanding that 20 seconds are on the clock for that first Lord to start.
Oh, the timing of this is not really good for the side of Aura. They cannot look for this. They actually get their better retribution here, as that's the orange buff taken away by High. That's actually really good here. ONIC do not have any buffs currently, and Aura, they have 3. They're going to be able to have the advantage at this point, but my god, that Dawning Light almost just takes Facehugger out.
He has the Divine Glaive now, so it does even more damage. 2 will be enough. I think with 2, Facehugger is forced to leave, and now he is forced to recall off the back of 1 spell, which is already up again. What is going on?
This is insane. It's up again. They can use it constantly, spamming it behind. He's going to be able to dive to the back lines right now. Keyboy providing disengage as of this moment. Sans is going to be caught though. He gets melted down by Kabuki with the Malefic Roar and DHS. That's what you need it for. Boots! Whoa, he goes in way too aggressively. He gets petrified and he will fall. Drian tries to look for compensation with the Dawning Light that connects onto 3, but it's not enough. It is not enough. He can keep on poking with the Dawning Light, but Aura, they want to take this Lord. 3 members left for the side of ONIC. 2 members were taken down. Fluffy has 2 HP bars. He can go for the zone onto Drian. They need to be very careful here. High does not have retribution. This is risky. This is very risky. Rian has the Dawning Light now. Oh, they're using it for a fight. They jump onto CW. Godiva as well. Kabuki flickers forward. Dawning Light going to be capable to be popped there, but it does not deal enough damage. Kabuki with the positioning, and the Feather Airstrike comes through. Drian will fall by Facehugger with the flicker. Kabuki flickers as well, but man, that was great by Aura.
Man, amazing plays from the side of Aura Fire. Everything was just planned out so perfectly. They were able to bait ONIC Esports to that side and eventually take the kills for themselves. Aura Fire now with a 5,000 gold lead. All lanes are pushing at this stage, but now they have to be very careful with how they manipulate these lanes. They need to go in as equally as possible, as it only takes 12 seconds left for the side of ONIC Esports for Drian to respawn and keep that initial pressure with that Dawning Light back on.
I think it all began with Boots just going in 1v4 essentially, and he just instantly got stunned up and bursted down. So he needs to be a bit more careful, because if it's a matter of time, right? Drian can still do a lot of damage as we talk about that, the Dawning Light.
Oh, Kabuki just does so much damage. Sans is going to be melted down by both Kabuki and Facehugger. Nibiru swap for the side of Kabuki to take the turret down. They're looking for the top side as well. He's going to go back to Renner, and he's going to look for the shot. Sans still able to zone these members away, but look at the mid lane. Godiva gets in and gets the pick onto Drian. What an amazing concealed play, as this might be it. They do not have Drian CW. Yes, he can clear, but look at Kabuki. He does not care. He just dives in. Nibiru's passion as well, but if only someone wait for it, it's going to be the breath of the ocean there to disengage for the side of Godiva. Perfectly placed and perfectly timed. Aura are looking for the end, but 20 seconds is the death timer on Drian. Can they even do this?
It doesn't seem like they can. I mean, the Feather Airstrike does get popped off, but unfortunately, even without Drian, they still need a better opening. CW is still able to really zone out the members from the side of Aura Fire. They do still have Boots as well going in for those crazy falling star moons, and eventually take a lot of time away from the side of Aura Fire that they initially have. As now we're going to take a look at the real-time win probability. It is 69%, a really good amount of possibility for the side of Aura Fire right now.
I agree.
A 7,500 gold lead, and now ONIC Esports, they're on the D.
Not to mention, Godiva actually has the Holy Crystal built as well now. So that's a lot of damage available, not just to Drian, but to everyone else. Whenever... Yeah, Monet will be Drian, because again, that will be the main damage threat. And for ONIC Esports, the same option just isn't available. It's a replay by the Samsung Galaxy A series, whereas we can see, it just was so difficult. Drian and CW tries their best here, but Keyboy gets picked off, and Drian, just off the base of just the Feather Airstrike, gets taken out. That is the power of a Farsa, long-range artillery.
Yeah, the range, man. The range has definitely got to be one of the main issues that ONIC Esports is currently facing right now. Sure, the Dawning Light has that range too, but it is so hit and miss, right? Whereas anyone in the vicinity of the Feather Airstrike will definitely go down.
Facehugger is also like, more ahead. He has a Genius one on top of Drian. So he does have the Athenas just to make sure he doesn't get bursted down by the Dawning Light, but Drian is yet to finish his final item. So the longer the game goes, ONIC will finally equalize, but will that be enough though? Because it is a Beatrix going up against a Popo and Koopa in the DPS segment.
The DPS and the defense. Well, currently, it's going to be ONIC trying to contest for this Evolved Lord at this point. Aura Fire, they're using this, I feel like, for the base. Look at Godiva. Conceal play to the back, he gets it! No, he doesn't! He goes in on the CW, does not, he whips there, but he's still going to be able to pick off CW. No, he does not! CW outplays! He is going to be able to take Godiva down, but it's a 1-for-1, worth it for Aura. Gold lane are taken down, ONIC, Boots and Keyboy, both of the frontliners need to back up Aura. That's worth it still. Godiva, he misplayed, but it was still worth it in the end because he was able to get CW. If CW lived there, it would have been a disaster.
That was just 1 inch off. 1 inch off. A little off the spot there, but yes, it was a roamer traded for the gold laner, which is why it is and was still worth it for the side of Aura Fire. Still 8,000 gold. And they are looking for something on the board here. They want to be able to contest, but can they do it without Godiva?
I mean, for Aura Fire, they have the DPS advantage, so right now they're still doing pretty fine, but that Dawning Light, see, this is how the annoying part about Savior. Drian is clearing the bottom side while still somehow pressuring Aura Fire off from the Lord. And so there's a pause right here. I wonder what exactly is the issue, but in the late game, this is the difficulty. ONIC, they have the advantage with the range, but for Aura, they have the option of trading Godiva for CW, and the Marksman is always going to be more valuable in that late game.
At this point, right? What does ONIC need to do? Because I feel like they can't really withstand that dive. With the Hylos, it does not cover properly, I feel like. There's so much dive from the side of Aura Fire, and again, there's so much follow-up with that dive. Feather Airstrike has the range to follow it up with that engage from anyone. Kabuki as well with the Renner.
I think the best thing they can do is make the fights messy, right? Because right now, it's still relatively a front-to-back. Both teams want to make sure that their backline is safe. But for ONIC, they have the option, right, of leaving Drian somewhere really safe, going for the messy fights, where Boots on the Esmeralda can do a lot more DPS around him. And if they can trade the Beatrix for the Popo and Koopa, it is still absolutely worth it for the side of ONIC. So if they can just force Aura into a dirty fight, where they are forced to make trades, right? Where the Masha can't just pressure away the backline for too long. I think that that could be a solution they can explore. Obviously, it's easier said than done. Aura has been very good at watching out for those flanks, watching on the sidelines, and Godiva is always the one finding info, finding an opportunity in the sides to go in and take CW out.
But the problem is, from the side of ONIC Esports, I guess the main people that you'd want to take down would be the Xavier and the Popo and Koopa, so CW as well. But from Aura Fire, they have 3 possible members that can burst you down. So when you're talking about priority members, I think it's a little difficult for the side of ONIC Esports, to be honest.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of problems for sure, but I think the Beatrix is still going to be the main problem. Because yes, the Farsa has a lot of burst, has a lot of range, but once the Feather Airstrike is done, if you dodge it, right, if you survive it somehow, it's fine. But the Beatrix, if she's alive, Kabuki is just going to be sniping again and again, and we've seen the damage that comes from just merely auto attacks. That is not something ONIC can withstand. Even on Sans, who is on the high loss, that damage is absolutely still relevant.
Absolutely, but with that analysis on for the side of Arashi, we're going to come back into the game.
Arashi?
Arashi. Arashi Fire.
Oh, that's nice.
No. He already has Arashi Hoshi, right?
Yeah.
We can't give him all the good names.
Stop being
Arashi-tron.
greedy, Arashi.
I heard someone was saying Eterna Ego yesterday.
Eterna
Yeah.
Ego. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good name. But yeah, back into the game here. Fluffy, Aura Fire, they're starting to set up once again for this Lord take. Evolved Lord, meanwhile, Hai actually dives in onto Drian, and just like that, I feel like he's going to get taken down with a Feather Airstrike to follow it up. No, Diva gets CW! Oh, no, it's a disaster for the side of ONIC. They thought maybe that Aura's momentum has been out because of the pause, but Kabuki just targeted the base right now. Keyboy jumping with the Circular Eagle will get melted down by the side of Kabuki, as that's going to be Boost jumping in the falling Star Moon. The damage will come through over the side of Kabuki once again with Nibiru taking him very, very low. Aura, can they end at this moment? Bottom side wave is here as well. Sans, Boots, and Keyboy, they're going to have to maneuver this really well. Aura, the safe route here is to take the evolve Lord, but they do not care about safety. They're going to go in. Falling Star once again from Boots is almost going to be able to take Kabuki down. He's still hiding away. Boots running away. Sox gets taken down. Keyboard's immortality will be popped before he pops that circling eagle. The base is up for grabs. Aura with an amazingly executed fight. 2-1.
Just one fight and Aura Fire are able to lead the series. That was
the safe route would have been Lord. But
yeah,
this is
but
Aura.
this is Aura.
Excuse me, have you ever watched an Aura match? Never.